Hi everyone, I thought that I would talk about the truth about my anxiety. Not a lot of people know like what really happened, even some members of my family still to this day don't know, but I thought I would finally tell you all what actually happened and how I was feeling at the time, hoping that some people might relate and see that there is a way through it, because at the time I thought there's no way I'm getting out of this, there's no way anything's going to change, this is just going to be it forever. So I first remember my anxiety starting around the age of 14, but I didn't know what it was. I literally had no idea what was happening. Even my parents didn't know, the school didn't know, they just thought I was being like a normal teen, like can't be bothered going to school and things. What I remember from that time being 14 is just wanting out. I wanted out of that school. And I remember like holding myself under my duvet, hoping that I'd get a temperature and be so hot that mum would say, oh, don't go to school because you're not well. I also remember thinking, oh, if I fracture or break my arm, then I'll go to A&E instead of going to school. And I literally had no control over these thoughts. I'd literally rather be in hospital than at school, and I didn't know why that was. I was getting picked on and things, and I thought, oh, changing school will help. So I changed school, and I remember going on the train to my new school and crying and crying and crying, and everyone was telling me, oh, it's just because you've changed school and you're not used to it and you don't know anyone. But that wasn't the reason. I had no control over these thoughts, and it was my decision what school I went to. It was my choice to change high school. And I just remember wanting to be ill so that people would believe me that there was something wrong with me. And I remember going to the doctors every day almost, and they were just telling me, oh, you're just being a teenager, this is normal. And I'm like, if this is normal, how come no one I know is experiencing this? The school doesn't even know what's wrong with me. And even when we went to visit family, I'd be crying and crying and wanting to go home. I wanted just to be in my room like all the time. I didn't want to see anyone, I didn't want to talk to anyone. But no one in my family knew, so I had to hide that from them, and it was awful. In retrospect, I wish they knew, but I didn't want to tell anyone because I didn't know what was going on with myself. I literally thought I was going insane, and I thought this was going to be my life for the rest of my life, all day, every day in my room, not doing anything, not speaking to anyone. And all my friends went to college and uni and were in relationships and things and going out, and I couldn't. Even though I wanted to do these things, I couldn't. So I just sat online, and it was like Bebo at the time. And then Twitter, when it started, I got Twitter back in like 2007, 2008. And I remember that was my life, and online I was someone completely different. And no one can see my anxiety, and if people ask, oh, what did you do today? And I'd been up to the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Service, I went there every week. I'd just tell them, oh, I went into town, so they thought, oh, it's normal, it's just meeting up with our friends in town. But that wasn't true. I was in a mental health unit from the ages of 15 till I was 17 every week. And that was shameful to me, and people would ask, oh, what are you doing and things, say, oh, going to town, they're like, oh no, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm in a young people's unit, and they'd think, oh, that's just like group for teenagers and things, but it wasn't. If I said it's a mental health unit, I was afraid of what people would say, because no one I knew had experienced this or knew what it was, and it was scary. And even in my family life, I was getting shouted at and being called lazy. Why don't you just do things? Why aren't you eating? Why aren't you out? Why aren't you at college? Why aren't you getting a job? Oh, but if you get a job it will get better. But it didn't get better. It took 8 years of fighting with myself and forcing myself, because I didn't want this to be my life. I didn't want to just be at home scared and up every night crying my eyes out, but not knowing why I was crying. And my mum would be like, well, what's wrong? Why are you upset? What set this off? I literally don't know. If I knew, that it would have made everything so much simpler. But yeah, like every week I'd go and volunteer, and even that was a struggle. I couldn't go every week for an hour. I found it, just being outside, petrifying. Being on a bus or a train, scary, to the point where I'd be sweating and making myself physically sick with the panic. And I just remember that feeling, and it's like a tightness in your chest, and your heart feels like it's going like this, and then you go hot and sweaty, and you start shaking, and you can't see anything around you. Like literally everything's a blur. And to fight that and push through it, sometimes I'd just have to sit down and be like, no, I'm going to sit here until it passes. And I'd be sitting there for like an hour until it passed, or longer, and I'm like, just walk slowly. And I can't even begin. I can't believe that that was something that I experienced at that age, and I see and hear of people younger than me experiencing it, and I'm like, how are you even coping? How are you going through that? But until you're in the situation and you find it difficult, you've just got to keep persevering and facing the fear, and it's scary and it takes a long time. But eventually the anxiety will go and fade. My last panic attack must have been 2014, so that's 2 years ago now. But that was when my ex's brother tried to attack me with his car, and before then it would have been 2012. So what I wanted to say to everyone with this video was, yeah, struggling with anxiety and panic attacks, it's a long process to learn to manage it, and you have to learn how to manage it like for you, like what works for you. And just because you've tried something in the past and it's not worked doesn't mean you can't try it again years later, because you may be in a better place later on. Don't just write things off, oh well, I've tried that and it doesn't work, because if you don't try things and try things again, it's never gonna get better. I'm glad I didn't give up. There are so many times that I did. So many times when I thought, this is just going to be my life now. And I'm glad that I didn't. And it is a long process. But don't give up. Keep on trying, keep on going, and learn to manage it. I still get panicky. We just moved into this flat, me and my fiance. And I remember the first morning I woke up, I was like, oh my god! And I started panicking and I couldn't sit still, and I couldn't sleep properly. So I just channeled that into, right, let's get this place sorted, let's get it more homely. And now I'm fine. I've been in the flat 2 weeks now. Well, 2 weeks today, actually. And yeah, it's getting better. Not that I'm not going to panic about things. Not that I'm never going to be anxious ever again in my life. Still going to have those things, and I'm still going to overthink things, and I'm still going to be more panicky than, say, the average person because of my anxiety. But I've learned to control it now, and I've learned to channel it into doing positive things like sorting the flat, or getting things done there and then. I'm like, no, I'm going to do this and I'm going to sort this problem. So yeah, my whole family now know, obviously. Doing YouTube, they know. But I wish I had been more honest with them. Like, when I say family, I'm not meaning just my mum and dad and brother and things. I'm meaning like aunts, uncles, cousins. I wish I had been more honest with them with what was going on and wasn't ashamed. That is my only regret. I think it probably would have helped more to be open and honest and not hide it from people. But yeah, that is my message to you. Don't give up. I say it in every video. Never give up. Just keep on going, and things do get better, and you learn to manage things. And don't rule off something just because you've tried it years ago and it didn't work back then, because it may work now. Oh, feel free to message me on Facebook. Here's my Facebook. It's a public page that you can like. I don't give out my private Facebook, but if you want to message me on there, if I'm not available, you get an automated message back. But I do get back to every single person, and I do try and help if I can, and I will be open and honest. So feel free to message me if you want some support. I'm happy to do that.